everyone, I'm Sean, and I've watched Iron Man before several times, but this time around I tried to see what new details and Easter eggs I could find. With that said, let's jump right into it. Number 1. During the movie, we see Stan Lee's first cameo in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the film, Tony Stark mistakes Lee for Hugh Hefner at the red carpet, and Stan Lee says, "Don't worry, this happens all the time. I get mistaken for Hugh Hefner a lot." Number 2. The workshop where they filmed a bunch of scenes in Iron Man 1 was in the old Howard Hughes aircraft hangar where he built the Spruce Goose plane. This is important because Stan Lee took inspiration from the eccentric billionaire to create Tony Stark in the comics. Number 3. The next Easter egg here is that the 10 Rings first appeared as the name of the terrorist organization that kidnapped Tony Stark. In Iron Man, the group was led by Raza, who made a deal to trade Tony Stark as part of a secret arms deal. Later on in the movie, we found out that the 10 Rings were a much larger organization, with the group that took Iron Man being just one franchise of many. In the comics, we see the real head of the organization is the Mandarin, who is later thought to be shown in Iron Man 3, however, in the movie it was just an actor, not the real one. In the comics, each of the 10 rings contains the soul of a legendary cosmic warrior, and the Mandarin wore all 10 able to use their power.
How'd it go? Wow, went that bad, huh?
Just because I brought pizza back from New York doesn't mean it went bad.
Number 4. The scene where Tony Stark and Obadiah Stane talk over pizza begins in a very particular way, with Stane playing a piano piece by the composer Antonio Salieri. This has an added layer of significance to it, as Salieri was rumored to have attempted to sabotage Mozart, not unlike what Stane does to Tony as the film goes along. There isn't actually a lot of truth to Salieri and Mozart's rivalry, even as the myth is carried on for all of these years. But I do think Marvel picked this to foreshadow what was about to happen in the movie. Number 5 is that the music that plays in the casino is actually the opening music of the original 1966 Iron Man cartoon.
Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with a heart of steel.
This isn't the only time music from the cartoon is used. We also see the movie pay homage to the show by using its theme song as Rhodey's ringtone when he gets a call from Tony. That little tune is actually the theme song from the 1966 Iron Man cartoon. It's also in the award ceremony where Obadiah accepts Tony Stark's award as he isn't there. Number 6. In the movie, we see Obadiah struggling to make an arc reactor small enough to fit in his armor. And a pretty cool detail here is that in Civil War, we can see a small arc reactor in Tony's wristwatch showing how far Tony develops his technology. Number 7. Burger King. During the movie, Tony stopped at Burger King, and this is actually based on Robert Downey Jr.'s real life. He was in his car and a Burger King burger was so gross it made him rethink his whole life and throw his drugs in the ocean. So I guess we have Burger King to thank for Iron Man. Taking it even further, Marvel took out a loan for some of their original movies such as Iron Man, and if Iron Man didn't do well, they wouldn't have been able to continue making Marvel movies. So Endgame, Infinity War, Thor Ragnarok, we have Burger King to thank for all of that. Number 8. In Tony's lab, you can see a version of Captain America's shield being created. It's probably not the real one, but since Tony's dad Howard Stark was such a big fan of Captain America, it makes sense his son would want to recreate something as iconic as Cap's shield. Number 9. In a flashback during the movie, when Tony and Rhodey board the plane, there's a Ghostface Killah music video playing right behind them because Ghostface Killah is a huge fan of Iron Man, and they even filmed a scene with Ghostface Killah in it, but it ended up not being used. Number 10. Lastly, Pepper Potts helps Iron Man switch out his first arc reactor and helps with switching it to the new one. She gives it back to him later as a gift, saying, "Proof that Tony Stark has a heart." We also see this arc reactor at the end of Endgame at Tony Stark's funeral. And those are the 10 Easter eggs and small details you may have missed. Thanks for watching, and please like the video and subscribe for more content like this.